What's good everyone, it's BBKDRAGOON here with a review of the Zowie FK2, a mouse that has quickly become one of my favorite FPS mice of all time, if not my new favorite. This is a very low profile, small mouse that will work very well for fingertip grip and claw grip players. Players who palm style grip, this one's probably not going to work for you. Like I said, a very low hump profile reaching at its maximum height just 36 millimeters. This is an ambidextrous mouse that is currently selling on Amazon in the US for $60. It uses the exceptional 3310 optical sensor, which is known for being really reliable and quite good. The mouse weighs around 85 grams, so it feels quite light and very balanced. With this being an ambidextrous mouse, there are two sets of mouse buttons. However, only one set can be active at a time. This prevents accidental button presses on the opposite side of the mouse during those moments where you may need to grip that mouse a little bit tighter. I will say though, during my entire 5 weeks with this mouse, I haven't experienced a single one of these accidental side button presses. Doesn't mean that other players will not, I just personally haven't experienced that. First, I should highlight that this is a mouse best for users with medium and small hands. Players with larger hands should definitely look at the Zowie FK1 and FK1 Plus, which are essentially the exact same mouse as the FK2, but offer a longer mouse and a wider mouse for users with those larger hands. The key with a good FPS mouse is to find one that suits your hand size, play style, and what feels good. So experimentation is the right thing. The FK2 is 64 millimeters wide at the back and 60 millimeters wide at the front. It has a length of 124 millimeters. The low hump provides a mouse perfectly suited for the fingertip and claw grip style players. For some perspective, I've placed a 2015 Razer Naga beside the FK2 so you can kind of get an idea just how low the curve of the FK2 really is. One of the absolute best features of the FK2 is its simplicity. No drivers required or software to change your DPI, polling rate, or liftoff distance. The FK2 offers 4 DPI settings that can be changed at any time by pressing the button on the bottom side of the mouse. 400, 800, 1600, and 3200 are all the DPIs that are supported, and you can tell which one you're on by the color of the light. You can choose between polling rates of 125, 500, or 1000 Hz by holding down certain mouse buttons when you plug the mouse in. If you are a tournament player or someone like me who doesn't really enjoy having to log in through a program like Razer Synapse to make changes, then the FK2's simplicity will definitely appeal to you. The click resistance is stiff enough to where I wouldn't recommend this as a mouse for RTS or MOBA players. It isn't like challenging to execute a click, but it requires enough force that the user needs to be very deliberate. This is great for FPS players and gives the mouse a very commanding feeling while you play. However, the shell of the mouse is really the cause of this stiffness, and some users may not like how much effort it takes to execute that click. The scroll wheel is quite tight and features 16 steps instead of the usual 24. This scroll wheel is not one that will be the best for web browsers, but for users who like to swap weapons with the scroll wheel, this will serve that purpose effectively as it's very easy to be intentional with the movement of that scroll wheel. Remember though, for bunny hoppers, 16 steps will make executing your jump inputs a little bit more challenging than the more traditional 24-step scroll wheels. The plastic used is smooth, stiff, and looks strong. At the time of this review, I've only had the mouse for about 5 weeks, so I can't really comment on its durability. This smooth plastic though may prove to be fairly slippery for users whose hands sweat during play. At first I really wasn't sure that I would enjoy an ambidextrous mouse. Previously I've used mice like the Razer Death Adder, which has a small patch of rubber on the right side of the mouse for your ring finger and pinky to grip onto. I would say I have hands in between mid and large size, so on the FK2 my pinky tends to drag along the mouse pad while in use. This wasn't an issue during heated FPS matches, however. And in fact, the FK2 felt effortless to control and was very easy to adapt to. Its lightweight body paired with its dialed ergonomics for claw and fingertip players make this a joy to use in shooters. There is just something confidence-inspiring about the mouse. The sensor is rock solid, and I have yet to encounter any issues with the default liftoff distance. Its small size give it a sense of agility that my Death Adder and other larger, heavier mice lacked. I found it very comfortable in fast-paced shooters like Titanfall 2 and Lawbreakers. Again, if you are a user with larger hands, be sure to look at the FK1 and FK1 Plus. The ambidextrous design will not be for everyone, and while I didn't have any issues accidentally clicking the mouse buttons on the wrong side, some players very well may. For those players, I would recommend looking at the Zowie EC2A. This is the next mouse I'm looking to purchase for review, as it offers a higher profile hump and more real estate for the player to rest their ring and pinky finger on, as it's not an ambidextrous mouse. The FK2 has nailed the balance between fantastic ergonomics for claw and fingertip players at a price point that is really compelling. At just $60, the mouse offers a fantastic sensor, very easy to use, no-nonsense setup process that completely ignores software. This is a huge benefit for players who travel to tournaments or LANs where they'll be playing on others' PCs and don't want to have to worry if their settings transferred over. Just look at the light on the bottom to make sure your DPI is set and you're ready to roll. What you see is exactly what you get with the FK2. It won't have any of the RGB features of the more gamery mice out there. So if you want it to light up to your music, this definitely isn't the mouse for you. Overall, I really like the Zowie FK2. It has become my FPS mouse of choice currently, one that I can gladly recommend to players who fingertip, grip, or claw. If you're interested in purchasing this mouse or learning a little bit more about the larger FK1 and FK1 Plus, I've put links in the description down below. Keep in mind that there is no such thing as the perfect FPS mouse for everyone. It really comes down to how the mouse fits your hand size, the style you play, and how it feels. I really like the FK2. I'm excited to try out the EC2A next. If you found this review helpful, please let me know with a comment and thumbing the video up, and subscribe for more videos like these. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk with you next time.